Yo, what is up guys? This is Troy D from the Troy D 24/7 Malt channel, your source for on point and no hype reviews. Welcome back yet again everybody. We are back with another video right here on my day off on a fragrance that has always gotten my curiosity, and finally, after maybe a year and a half of being curious about this fragrance, I finally got to try and test this to give you guys some no hype feedback before you buy. Now before I continue, please do not forget to like and subscribe folks. We are at the cusp of hitting 12,000 subscribers guys, so thank you for all your support, your love and support, and it's been a good couple years. I will release a 12K video with a lot of my thoughts about fragrance collecting and the fragrance world in general. Thanks for that guys, and today we are going to talk about a fragrance that comes from the house of Penhaligons. And Penhaligons, like I told you guys before on my previous Penhaligons videos, it is a house that I've always been curious about. It's just that I got so busy with other fragrances and other houses that it was only recently when I went to New York with a friend of mine that I got to appreciate Penhaligons fragrances, and because of that I eventually bought a bunch of samples from the line. So far I have reviewed the Blazing Mr. Sam, which is a really good fragrance in my opinion. Y'all should check it out if you're more into mainstream fragrances. And then I also reviewed Halfeti Cedar. In that case, I followed the hype. A lot of people were saying, hey look, get Halfeti Cedar, try it out, and I did. So my reviews are gonna be there at the end of the channel. I will link my Penhaligons fragrances. Now today, the fragrance we are going to talk about today is none other than Cairo. Yes, Penhaligon'S Cairo is the fragrance that we are going to talk about today, and I think everybody knows what Cairo is. Cairo is the capital of Egypt. It's been there, I mean, named as Cairo for thousands of years, guys. And Cairo, on top of being a great metropolitan city right now that has a huge bazaar, is also, of course, a great tourist attraction because of the 400 or so monuments found here. Now, with that being said, Cairo, which is in the Middle East, it's the largest city in the Arab world, is a Middle Eastern scent. Of course it is, right? And I know that there are a lot of y'all in my channel, subscribe to my channel, that collect Middle Eastern perfumes. So today we are going to answer a couple simple questions, or maybe 2 or 3 simple questions about Cairo. What kind of Middle Eastern scent are we going to get? What is the scent development like? And more importantly, how does this compare to other Middle Eastern scents that you guys and gals might come across? We are also going to talk about the performance as well as usage, and also if it's unisex or not. We are going to answer that today, but before I continue, let's go spray this thing right now. Ooh! Okay guys, let's go talk about Cairo by Penhaligons right here. Let's start off with the opening notes. You've got damask rose as well as saffron, guys, and this combination, rose and saffron, I know if you've seen other fragrances, you're probably saying, man, this is a pretty common combination. This has been done a million times by different other companies. But there is a stark difference right there, and that's what I really want to say right here, is that you are getting damask rose, and this is a different type of rose. This damask rose is being called the king of flowers, as it is some of the best high quality rose from Damascus. And the difference between the damask rose versus other rose notes or smells is that the damask rose has a very prominent woody and even slightly earthy nuance. It does have a woody nuance that really makes it different from something like a fruity rose or a jammy rose or a totally sweet rose. And the same goes for the saffron, guys. Of course, we have smelled different saffron notes, but the saffron here, in my opinion, on top of being a sweet and spicy saffron, this one right here has an extra leathery nuance, guys. And of course, this I'm bringing up because there's gonna be some continuity on this fragrance, but definitely it does have a slight leathery nuance on top of being the common known saffron spice. So with that being said, leathery nuance of the saffron spice, this fragrance straight up starts dark. This one definitely curves immediately into dark territory, and it is what they say is a desert rose. And it's a desert rose in the sense that it's a rose, but like an evening time in the desert type of rose fragrance right here. Very dark, very mysterious, very sultry, an immediate curve, which again is totally different from other rose fragrances that maybe are balanced. This one here goes immediately dark. Now the thing you're gonna get, and I think that this is comforting to know, is that this fragrance Cairo does have beautiful continuity into the mid. The mid has the notes of cypriol oil, labdanum, and vanilla right here. Now let's talk about cypriol oil, one of my favorite notes, guys. And I said that in many cases cypriol oil can be used as a replacement for oud. Why? Because it still has that dark earthy nuance, but at the same time it doesn't have the animalic nature of oud. And in this case cypriol oil is going to be there. It's a thick cloud, but then it continues the earthiness from the damask rose. Remember, I told you guys the damask rose is totally different here. Starts off dark with an earthy woody nuance that continues on to the cypriol oil that is dark as well, dark and earthy, but not animalic like oud. Now remember what I said about the saffron in the opening having a slight leathery nuance right there. Again, pulls this fragrance real dark. The labdanum takes in the reins from the saffron. And labdanum, as you guys know, is an ambery note, but it does have leather-like properties and it does pick up from the saffron. Now, because this fragrance is mostly dark, the only semi-uplifting notes you are gonna smell is obviously the rose and the vanilla here in the mid. And vanilla would probably be the counterbalance here because everything else is kind of like heavy, but then the vanilla and the sweetness of the vanilla will come up and eventually kind of balance this fragrance with the sweetness. But mostly, guys, the mid is gonna be all about continuity. So if you like the first part, you're gonna enjoy the continuity in the mid. It's hours and hours of, I would say, a similar theme with some evolving properties, of course, as the notes pass on from start to mid, but there is some beautiful continuity. You're gonna smell the same theme all throughout for hours and hours. And this stage lasts 8 to 10 hours, guys. So that's what I mean by that. It's kind of like the entire fragrance, or at least that's what the fragrance will be judged on. So I'm going to focus on that real quickly, guys. First and foremost, let's talk about the sillage right here. This fragrance starts off as an aura scent, but eventually becomes a lingering scent, okay? It is a lingering scent, and that is starkly different from other rose fragrances that maybe are stronger or project more. Because it is a dark scent, it doesn't have the counterbalance floral notes like jasmine, for example, or orris, that will take the projection of this even stronger. Most of these notes are curved notes from start to mid. And even labdanum, guys, I mean, labdanum is usually placed in the end. It's usually a base note when something goes fade to black. But I will say this, because it is a lingering scent, it is also a dark, sultry, enigmatic type of perfume. This one right here has a come hither type of characteristic. It's not the attention getter, attention grabber, but it is the come here and smell me, the draw-in scent that is the characteristic of Cairo more than anything else. Now, compliments wise, in my opinion, it's not the verbal compliments that you should really care about. It's the non-verbal cues, the positive non-verbal cues that you are going to get as you are wearing Penhaligon'S Cairo and you're around people, because this one is really beautiful smelling. First and foremost, I'm not gonna say anything about how good it is. It is good, but because it is mysterious, deep and dark and inviting, I mean, mostly what you're gonna get are non-verbal cues on people probably saying, oh my God, you smell good. Maybe you gotta watch the eyebrows or the breaknecks or the big smiles, because that's what you're gonna get, in my opinion. People are gonna be private about complimenting you, and they're probably not going to compliment you in terms of verbally, but I think non-verbally, people are going to notice you. They're going to think you're wearing something amazing. Now, dry down wise, Cairo goes into a pretty standard but likable dry down right here with some spicy patchouli, with cedar and sandalwood. So it's a nice woody patchouli ending. Again, no surprises here, nothing different, all compliment getting, all nice. And I think it's a nice ending to this fragrance. Now, when you test or smell Penhaligon'S Cairo, of course, you're gonna know that this fragrance is a Middle Eastern type scent. And with that being said, that is the main characteristic of this fragrance right here. So if you are into Middle Eastern scents, or if you're trying Middle Eastern scents for the first time, I think that Cairo is yet another great gateway drug, gateway fragrance into Middle Eastern scents. And I think the Penhaligons as a company in general, so far, from what I have tried, from what I've tested, I think that Penhaligons is a great gateway entrance into the perfume world or perfume addiction. If you guys remember the first time you got blown away by a Middle Eastern scent, like for me when I was in Dubai is when it happened, but for a lot of people it usually takes one scent to blow you away and to bring you in the wonderful world of Middle Eastern scents. And if you haven't tried anything like that, in my opinion, Cairo could be the first to pop your cherry right there. So if you're in the boutique, you've never tried Middle Eastern scents, you haven't tried Halfeti and all of that, you tried Cairo, it might initially really blow you away. So again, it's great as an intro to Middle Eastern scents. The only thing I would say is a hiccup is if you've been around the block. Cairo is a great fragrance, no doubt, but if you have tried a dozen other great Middle Eastern scents and you've elevated your expectations, it might miss the mark because, like I said, it's mostly a gateway to the Middle Eastern fragrance world. Now, compared to fragrances like, say, Black Kalimat or Risala from Arabian Oud, I would say that the advantage of this fragrance right here is that it doesn't overstep its bounds. A lot of the Middle Eastern fragrances that are intro fragrances to me are quite strong, actually. The sillage of those fragrances are pretty damn strong. And if you are a cautious wearer of perfume, especially if you're gonna try it for the first time and you're gonna be in front of co-workers, family, friends, and again, you're pretty cautious about it, I think that Cairo is the more appropriate fragrance to use because it is a lingering draw-in scent and not a push, get my attention type of scent. In that way, you can actually gauge if Middle Eastern fragrances that you like will actually be liked by others as well and it won't be judged the wrong way. Then definitely Cairo is your man's right here. Now, as for Cairo being unisex, guys, this, in my opinion, this fragrance is more masculine. It leans masculine to me because there are no notes that really push the uplifting floral vibes at all. When it comes to Cairo, there's no jasmine, there's no orris, there's no lily of the valley to kind of balance out everything else. This fragrance starts off with heavy notes, the damask rose, the labdanum in the mid, and then the patchouli woods in the end. So in my opinion, again, this is very manly, and actually it is kind of macho. It's kind of macho. I think in terms of Middle Eastern fragrances, this one here gives a very macho, masculine character on top of being an enigma, a mysterious enigma. So in my opinion, guys, if you are wearing a perfume and you want to smell real masculine with an enigmatic, mysterious, and deep persona or character in your perfumes, then Cairo is definitely it. Again, the draw-in nature of it as well as the type of notes right here, I mean, it will definitely make you smell like a very enigmatic, mysterious character, but does not lean femme. So if you're a guy, then definitely you can rely on Cairo. This fragrance lasts over 12 hours, guys, and like I told you guys before, it's a long start to mid with all that continuity, and there's still continuity in the end as well, but this is pretty long lasting, like I said. But of course, draw-in type scent, I think that it's really gonna go under the radar if you actually wear it. It's like telling other people you're wearing a Middle Eastern scent, but not. I think that's really what this fragrance does, and that's Penhaligons for you. Penhaligons really balanced this fragrance to be an intro type of perfume, but at the same time, I think it can be loved by people who have never smelled a Middle Eastern perfume at all. Ultimately, this is a try before you buy. Why? Because of course, you want to match this rose with the rose that you guys have. I know that a lot of y'all collect rose fragrances. I have a ton of full bottle rose fragrances. But again, this is unique in that it is complete dark fade to black compared to my other rose scents. So if you have collections of rose scents, definitely get a sample or go to a boutique, which is really the easiest way to try this. I mean, definitely every high-end boutique here in America has a full Penhaligons boutique right here, like Saks, like Bloomingdale's. They have a full boutique of Penhaligons fragrances. And with the dark, mysterious nature of this perfume, obviously, to me, this is a nighttime perfume, okay? And because it is a lingering draw-in scent, I think that it's great for dates, especially when you're past kind of like the first and second date, and now it's all about smelling sexy and sultry and magnetic and intoxicating. This is it right here. So probably past the first date. I have suggested a lot of first date fragrances here, but past that, I think this one is more on the macho, mysterious, and inviting side. So I would actually wear this past the first date. For me here in LA, here in the West, this fragrance is mostly a fall, winter, evening time scent, like I said. But I think that in the Middle East, this is the norm, okay? Everybody over there wears these types of perfumes no matter what, even in the high heat, right? So, I mean, you can follow that as well. You can wear this in the summer if that's what you really want. Nobody's gonna stop you. But for me, guys, evening time, like I said, fall, winter is the best time to wear Penhaligon'S Cairo. All right, so that is it. That is my review on Penhaligon'S Cairo, guys. Now, let me know in the comments below what you guys and gals think of Penhaligon'S Cairo. Do you own this? Is this part of your rotation? Does it do exactly what I said it will do? Let me know in the comments below. There are no right or wrong answers. And if you have alternatives to Cairo, let me know as well. What are you using? What kind of Middle Eastern scents are you guys using? If I haven't reviewed it, I probably will. And please do not forget to like and subscribe, guys. Like I've said before, your likes, your subscription does help the channel in a very big way, and it has helped in a very big way. We are nearing 12,000 subscribers, and I think that no matter what, we're gonna hit it anyways. So thank you for 12,000, guys. And again, watch for my video. I do promise to continue with more no hype reviews to bring in a lot of these fragrances that you guys and gals really want to know about. I will make no hype reviews on all of them so that you guys can reference it, versus maybe a biased friend or biased collector or a biased reviewer. This one right here is gonna be non-biased until the end. All right, I'll see you guys on the next video. God bless, take care, peace.